The scene was set for what should have been a joyous celebration. The historic French Quarter of New Orleans, with its colorful buildings and lively jazz floating through the air, provided the perfect backdrop for Big Freedia's wedding day. Dressed in a stunning outfit that reflected her vibrant personality, the Queen of Bounce Music stood moments away from exchanging vows with her longtime partner, Devon Hearst. The cameras for her reality show Big Freedia Bounces Back were rolling, ready to capture every emotional moment. But as the music played and all eyes turned to her, something unexpected happened. Freedia froze. The woman known for her fearless stage presence suddenly looked overwhelmed. "I can't do this," she whispered before turning away and walking out, leaving behind a stunned groom, confused guests, and a wedding that would never be. What could drive someone to abandon their own wedding at the last possible moment? For Big Freedia, the answer wasn't simple. At the time, she was embroiled in serious legal troubles, facing charges of fraudulent rental assistance claims that carried the threat of prison time. The weight of potential incarceration hung over her daily life, making it nearly impossible to focus on planning a future when her freedom was in jeopardy. "When you're facing years in prison, how can you think about marriage?" Freedia would later explain. Beyond the legal issues, her music career was reaching new heights. Tours were being booked, records were being made, and her unique style of bounce music was gaining national attention. The thought of slowing this momentum for married life created an internal conflict that ultimately proved too much to bear in that decisive moment at the altar. Devon Hearst's reaction to being left at the altar spoke volumes about their relationship. Rather than expressing public anger or bitterness, he showed remarkable understanding. "I just wanted her to be happy," he said in the aftermath, demonstrating the depth of their connection. Their love story had always been unconventional. Two strong personalities navigating fame, legal battles, and the pressures of the entertainment industry together. While their romantic relationship couldn't survive this ultimate test, their mutual respect and friendship endured. This emotional complexity was captured raw and unfiltered on Freedia's reality show, giving viewers an unprecedented look at how real-life pressures can collide with personal relationships in the public eye. In the years following the abandoned wedding, Big Freedia's life took several dramatic turns. She ultimately served time in prison for those looming legal issues, an experience that forced her to confront her choices and rebuild her life. Emerging from incarceration, Freedia channeled her energy into her music with renewed focus, releasing new material and expanding her influence in the bounce music scene. Interestingly, while her professional life flourished, she never again ventured so close to marriage. Some artists thrive on stability in their personal lives to support their creative work, but for Freedia, the opposite seemed true. Her art required a different kind of freedom. The woman who could command any stage still found walking down an aisle to be her most daunting performance. While it's easy to frame this as just another celebrity wedding disaster, Big Freedia's story touches on universal themes about the pressures of modern life. How many people have felt torn between personal happiness and professional ambition? How often do external pressures like legal or financial troubles impact our most personal decisions? The runaway bride narrative takes on new meaning when we consider that sometimes running away isn't about fear of commitment, but about honoring one's truth in impossible circumstances. In interviews since, Freedia has been remarkably candid about that moment, neither romanticizing it nor shying away from the pain it caused. Her honesty transforms what could have been a tabloid story into a poignant reflection on authenticity, survival, and the difficult choices we make when no option feels completely right. Big Freedia's abandoned wedding became more than just personal drama. It sparked important conversations about mental health and authenticity in the Black queer community. As a trailblazing Black gay artist in the Southern hip-hop scene, Freedia's struggles resonated deeply with fans who saw their own battles reflected in her story. The moment laid bare the immense pressures faced by marginalized artists, expected to be strong role models while navigating systemic obstacles like the legal system and industry discrimination. Her honesty about feeling overwhelmed helped normalize conversations about emotional vulnerability, particularly among Black men conditioned to project constant strength. In this light, her decision to walk away became an unintentional but powerful act of representation. The presence of cameras added complex layers to an already charged situation. Reality television thrives on dramatic moments, yet Fredia's breakdown was clearly unscripted, a rare glimpse behind the curated facade of celebrity life. This raises difficult questions about how much personal turmoil should be documented for entertainment. While the footage provided raw insight into Fredia's state of mind, it also commodified her pain for viewer consumption. The incident highlights the ethical tightrope walked by reality stars. Their most authentic moments often become content, yet sharing those vulnerabilities can forge deeper connections with audiences. Fredia's willingness to show this unfiltered crisis ultimately made her more relatable to fans facing their own struggles. Devon and Fredia's story serves as a sobering reminder that love alone cannot always overcome external pressures. Their relationship survived fame, creative differences, and the challenges of being an openly queer couple in hip-hop, yet collapsed under the weight of legal troubles and career demands. This dynamic plays out quietly in countless relationships where partners genuinely care for each other, but life circumstances make staying together impossible. Their ability to transition to friendship after such public heartbreak suggests a maturity rarely seen in celebrity splits. Perhaps their story isn't about love failing, but about love evolving into what both people needed it to become, a lesson many couples could benefit from embracing. Years later, Fredia's career continues to thrive while she maintains her independence, proof that her difficult choice ultimately served her growth. In a culture obsessed with marriage as the ultimate happy ending, her story offers an alternative narrative. Sometimes walking away leads to unexpected fulfillment. The abandoned wedding wasn't an ending, but a turning point that allowed both individuals to pursue paths truer to themselves. For fans watching, it became a masterclass in prioritizing personal truth over societal expectations, a message particularly powerful coming from a queer Black artist in an industry that often demands conformity. Fredia's journey reminds us that happy endings come in many forms, and sometimes they begin with one brave moment of saying no. Big Fredia's last-minute decision to walk away exposes the intense psychological toll that major life commitments can take when made under duress. Psychologists might analyze this as a classic case of commitment anxiety magnified by extraordinary circumstances. The legal threats created a fight-or-flight response that overrode all other considerations. What makes Fredia's situation unique is how public this internal struggle became, playing out on national television. Her experience mirrors countless private moments where individuals feel trapped between societal expectations and personal readiness, though rarely with cameras, documenting every anguished expression. This very public breakdown paradoxically made her more human to fans who had previously only seen her confident stage persona. Behind the emotional drama lay hard financial realities that influenced Fredia's choice. As her star was rising, marriage potentially meant sharing assets and future earnings at the precise moment her legal troubles threatened her income stability. The entertainment industry often forces brutal calculations between personal happiness and professional survival, a tension familiar to many working-class couples but amplified for celebrities. Fredia's bounce music empire represented not just artistic expression, but economic security for herself and her team. This financial dimension adds nuance to understanding her decision. What appeared as cold feet may have been pragmatic risk, assessment about protecting her livelihood during uncertain times. In a culture that celebrates Black women as unshakable pillars of strength, Fredia's public moment of uncertainty became quietly revolutionary. By showing herself overwhelmed at what should have been her triumphant moment, she challenged stereotypes about black female resilience. Her actions suggested that true strength sometimes means acknowledging when you're not okay, a radical concept, for women constantly expected to be the emotional backbone of their communities. This vulnerability resonated particularly with LGBTQ+ fans who recognize the added pressures of presenting as strong in the face of dual discrimination. Freddie's wedding escape, while painful, modeled a different kind of courage, the courage to be imperfect. Today, Freddie's abandoned wedding remains a defining moment in her career narrative, referenced in interviews and fan discussions years later. Unlike typical celebrity scandals that fade, this episode endures because it represents something deeper than gossip. It's a case study in authenticity under pressure. For aspiring artists, it serves as a cautionary tale about the personal costs of fame. For relationship experts, it's a fascinating example of how external stressors can derail even strong partnerships. Most importantly, for anyone who's ever had to make an impossible choice between heart and survival, Freddie's story offers bittersweet comfort, proof that sometimes walking away is the bravest step toward finding yourself. Years later, we're left wondering, was this a moment of weakness or incredible strength? Society often views walking away as failure, but perhaps there's greater courage in recognizing when something isn't right, even at the last possible moment. Big Freddie's story challenges our assumptions about weddings, commitment, and personal growth. It asks us to consider, when have we stayed in situations longer than we should have because of outside expectations? And when have we, like Freddie, found the bravery to say, "I can't do this," not as surrender, but as the first step toward our authentic path? The answers to these questions may reveal as much about ourselves as they do about the Queen of Bounce's unforgettable wedding that wasn't.